Well, hello, my friends. I am sitting down here on the wharf, and we are getting ready to have a special night. They're going to have like a boat light parade. So a lot of the boats down here have their sails and their masks um, lined with lights. Some of them even have more than that. So it's going to be interesting. It'll be my first sea parade to see my sea parade. And it's going to be starting right after sunset here. But while I found a good place to park where I can get good viewing, I've just been sitting here reading, and I was reading in Matthew 13. And I just had some thoughts that came to me that I thought, hey, you know what? Let me take a minute and touch bases with some of my friends and stir some thought out there for you to be thinking about over the next couple days. So I'm just going to read this, and then we can chat about it a minute. It says, "The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field. When a man found it, he hid it again, and then in his joy he went, sold all that he had, and bought that field." So I see two things with that. One, I think about customs. It was back in history, there were times where people, especially when they were nations that were used to having invaders and being plundered, when they knew there was an attack coming, they would hide their valuables. They'd dig them, they'd bury them in the ground, underground. They try and hide them. And that way, after the enemy went through, then they can go back up and dig them up. So we do this the same thing in the sense of, and Jesus reminded us that we're not to set our affections on things below, but on things above, because below, the moth, the canker, right? The thieves can break in and steal, the moth that's corrupt. So these things are temporal, and they're, what's the word I'm looking for? They're able to be tarnished, able to be diminished, able to lose their value, right? And so he's saying, no, if you put your affections on things above, then they're eternally valuable. So that's lesson number one. That's thought number one. Let's set our affections on things above, on the things that really matter, on the things that are eternal. And then the second thing is, think about different things. What do you do with the treasure? A treasure that you value, you take care of, you protect. Okay? Some people do it with safety deposit boxes. Some people do it with safes in their house. Why? Because those are the things that are valuable. What's valuable to you? And how are you protecting it? How are you valuing it? And then not only that, what about people that we value? How are we valuing them? How are we letting them know that they're valuable to us? How do we cherish them? How do we nourish them? How do we, like, if you have even rings, you can buy a brand new diamond ring, and in a year, if you're wearing it every day all the time and you're doing all your normal stuff, it's going to get really dirty and it's going to lose its luster. So you have to continue to maintain it. You have to maintain it, keep it clean, and periodically take special care with it to continue to bring out and sustain its shine. So that can be for our relationships. What are we doing to nurture them, to keep them shiny, to keep them glowing, to keep them bright? What are husbands, wives, husbands, friends, aunts, uncles, cousins, however that looks for you, best friends, nurture and value and cherish the relationships you have. And then the other thing I was thinking about was like things that I've cherished over the years. Things that I remember having a little memory box during a time when I was going out, and it was probably right out of high school. And every time we would go someplace, I'd keep the movie ticket. I'd keep like the bowling scorecard and a little pencil. And I had all of these, like a box of memories of the cherished moments of fun that we spent together. And it was a way to go back and rehearse. God even did that. God did that even with the Israelites, in the sense that he had within the Ark of the Covenant, He's like, this is his little treasure box. He's like, this is your history. And he had them put in the commandments, and he had them put in Aaron's rod, and he had them put in the pot of manna. And so those are things that God wanted them to remember and to treasure the memories because there were valuable lessons in them or valuable instructions in them. So there's a lot of different ways that we can think about treasures. And when we think about the kingdom of God, it says he sold all that he had to possess it. So he's like, he knew that what was in the ground was the most valuable thing. And so he was willing to give up everything he had to obtain the thing that he had found. And so for some of us, that means that we really go after, we don't waste our time and energies and even our means in things that aren't going to serve us well. But we invest ourselves into the things that will continue to give back and that will continue to sustain us in the longevity of life and in the purposes that God has intended and destined for us. So that's it for now. Thinking about being treasured and treasuring. Have a great and glorious, love-filled and victorious day, my friends. Bye for now. Stay tuned for tomorrow, probably on the shorts. I'll show you a little bit of our boat parade. Bye for now.